Hi all, greetings. If you're struggling to find a reliable trading strategy that too gives you 70 to 80% success rate, then this is the exact video for you. It took me around 4 years with all the trial and errors to finally come up with this strategy followed by some rules mentioned in this video. I would like to share this gift with the world so that no other trader struggle or waste his or her time like me and can start making money from day one. This video is for all those who believe in themselves and who believe that trading is one of the greatest tools to achieve ultimate financial freedom. I've also written a book in detail related to this strategy, which is mentioned in description, along with an Instagram ID where I'll be sharing the chart analysis of the same strategy on regular basis. So let's start with the video. This content you can see mentioned here would be materials required, basically the tools which you need in order to follow this strategy, terms and conditions, risk reward ratio, quantity calculation formula, patience and discipline, money management, and backtesting. So we'll start with price action. No matter how good your indicators like moving average, RSI, Bollinger Band, etc. are working for you, we cannot rely on them all the time. Only price action analysis can do that for us. The strategy is also based on price action. I'll be sharing a breakout pattern followed by some terms and conditions mentioned in this video. So let's start with the materials which we need. Basically, if you are in Zerodha, you can simply add central pivot range and pivot points to your chart from studies option as shown in the chart below. So this is what your Zerodha must be looking when you open it, and then you can directly go to studies option as shown in this black arrow. You can type central pivot range and pivot points in the studies option, and then you can choose them on your chart. If your broker doesn't have that option, then you can follow below points. Simply visit TradingView website, which is at tradingview.com. In that, select the stock either Bajaj Finance, Tata Motors, and ICICI Bank. Well, other stocks might also work under this strategy, but I have only done backtesting on these three as I trade only in limited number of stocks for quality results, and I will recommend the same to my readers and my viewers. After that, click on indicator and in search option type CPR. You will get a lot of options, but only those choose the one with the name CPR pivot with the day, month, weekly, and EMA cross as shown in the chart below, which you can see through. You can simply, once you visit this website, you can simply click CPR or type CPR in that indicator metric and strategy option, and then choose the one highlighted below. After that, go to the settings of the selected indicator, which is CPR pivot with day, month, weekly, and EMA cross, and click on style option as shown below. As you can see that once you choose the strategy, you can click on the setting button and then you can go to style option, and this is something which will pop out in front of your screen. Now uncheck all the blue boxes other than daily TC, daily PP, daily BC, R1, R2, R3, S1, S2, S3, weekly pivot and monthly pivot. You have to also reduce the thickness of the line to the minimum option available in the setting. After all the necessary changes, your chart should look like the chart attached below. It should be neat and clean with no other noises of other indicators. Time period on the chart must be kept at 5 minutes as you might have noticed above. Now you have to make sure that the volatility value of the selected stock for trading needs to be around 2 or more than 2. To check the volatility value of any stock, simply visit traderscockpit.com and a day before you take the trade, check the volatility of the stock as shown in the chart below. You can simply type your stock at the symbol, and then you can get the data here with the daily volatility, N1 volatility, and future volatility. So you have to just focus on daily volatility as of now in the chart, which is around 2.08. So you just have to check it a day before you take the trade of that particular stock. Now let's go to the process. Now since we have all the ingredients ready, let's make our perfect recipe. The strategy has around 70 to 80% success rate. If anyone claims that they have 100% success rate in trading, that's a big lie. Trading is a business, and like any other business, we have some operations cost. Your stop loss will get hit, but if you take care of your risk reward ratio and money management, which I will explain later, of course, no one can stop you from getting rich even at 30% success rate. Now let's go to the recipe. In order to take the trade, you have to observe few things. Look at the previous day chart and make sure there is not much movement in the stock. It has to be in a narrow range. Look at the chart below. See how narrow the price is moving on your previous day. Now from previous day high PDH and previous day low, which is PDL, of the stock price, draw extended horizontal line as shown below. So this is your point of previous day high and this is the point of your previous day low. Just draw an extended horizontal line from these 2 points. Now I'll explain you the entry, target and stop loss. When stock price is moving in a narrow range, it's most likely to give a violent move either towards upside or downside next day. Also make sure the CPR is also narrowed during that trading day. Normally CPR is narrow when the stock is in narrow range previous day. I'll just explain you about the entry. If the price is moving towards down, then have all the patience in the world and let it give you your entry point by breaking the support line of previous day low and support 1. Your entry points trigger when red candle is properly closed after breaking S1. Don't lose your patience and enter without the candle being closed after breakout. Always wait for confirmation. Kindly go through the below chart. See here your entry candle, which is this one. It got close after breaking PDL, which is this line, and S1, which is this line. So you have to take the entry only when your breakout candle, which is this red candle, is closing and breaking both the supports, which is PDL and S1. Now, once it got close, then near S1, you can take your entry point. Also, if breakout is huge, then wait for the price to retrace back towards S1 and then take your entry for better risk reward. What I mean to say here is, let's suppose if this red candle is closed somewhere around here. So you can't take your entry here. You have to wait for the stock price to retrace it back to your, near S1 area. Or else you can leave the trade and you can go to next trade. In many cases, you will get previous day low line below the support line. In that case, your entry point will trigger when breakout candle properly close after breaking PDL. I'll just explain you what I mean to say here is sometimes your PDL, your this line will be below S1, below this one. Then your entry will become when your entry candle, which is your red candle, will close after PDL. Okay, so if S1 is above PDL, then your entry will trigger when your entry candle closes after PDL. Okay, now I'll just explain you about the target. As you can see in the above chart, I have pointed out the target or exit point just above a support 2. Kindly exit as the price is about to touch S2 as there are high chances of it to retrace from the support point. See here I have marked this arrow. So somewhere here, let's say with naked eye 1 mm above, you just need to book your profit or you just need to exit once your chart or once your candles reach to that point. You don't have to wait it all the way to S2. You just have to book it just above S2. Though in this chart it has reached S2, even it has crossed S2, but you just have to book it just above S2. Now I'll just explain you about the stop loss. Stop loss is kept above the previous day low. As you can see, the price retraced till previous day low but couldn't cross it. As you might be aware that the support after breaking becomes resistance. So Google more to learn about support and resistance if you don't already know much about that. In other situation where your entry point is previous day low, if it is lower to S1, then in that case your stop loss will be just above S1. I'll just explain you in the chart. See here I have kept the stop loss just above previous day low. Okay, just above previous day low. And this price also went up, but it got retraced back. It couldn't even touch PDL. And normally, even if it touches, it won't cross most of the cases. So if your S1 is above PDL, then your stop loss will be just above S1. As I told you, then your entry point will be PDL. Similarly, if stock moves in upper direction, then your entry point triggers when the resistance R1 and previous day high PDH is broken and green candle makes a close after breaking R1. Like see in this chart, your previous day high got broken and then your R1 also got broken because of this entry candle, which is the green candle. And once it got close, then only you have to enter in this trade. Okay. Now, in this chart, also notice that I have kept the stop loss below the previous day high. Okay. And if your R1 is below PDH and if your PDH is above R1, then your entry signal will come when your green candle breaks the previous day high, that is PDH. And then in that case, your stop loss line will become this R1. And you just have to keep your stop loss below the R1. Now let's focus on the terms and conditions. In order to achieve the success rate of 70 to 80% or even more, we have to keep below points in check. Now make sure the previous day price is in narrow range, which I already told you. Make sure the trading day CPR is narrow CPR. Most of the time you will get narrow CPR, but just make sure that the trading day CPR is narrow CPR. There are a lot of formulas available in the market even before your platform starts, or your trading day starts. You can use those formula and draw those lines in your chart. Make sure that the stock volatility value is around 2 or more than 2. Okay, make sure that in between your target and entry point there is no major support resistance. For example, weekly pivot, monthly pivot, watch in CPR, swing high, swing low, etc. So Google if you don't already know about these terms. So when I say weekly pivot and monthly pivot, these values you can already get from trading view. Okay, I'll just show you once again with the chart. See, this is your entry area, this is your target area. Okay, so in between this, look at the left side of your chart. In between this, there shouldn't be any major resistance or support if the trade is towards the downside, or vice versa. So you have to just make sure these four terms and conditions in order to take your trade. Now, let's just talk about risk reward ratio. If you're able to find that today's chart pattern falls perfectly on your strategy and risk reward ratio is not 1 is to 2 or better, then please don't take that trade. If you will get millions of more opportunities in future. When I say 1 is to 2, I mean if your stop loss line makes you lose 1000 rupees in any trade, then make sure your target line gives you minimum 2000 rupees. Otherwise, don't enter in that trade. Now I'll just give you a small quantity calculation formula so that you can keep your risk same all the time. If your entry point is at 6,500 rupees value of the stock, and if your stop loss line is at 6,400, then the difference is entry minus stop loss, which is 100. Okay. Now let's say if you want to take a risk amount of 1,000, then your quantity formula says that it should be risk amount divided by the difference, which is 1,000 divided by 100, which is 10. So in this particular situation, your quantity needs to be 10 so that you don't lose more than 1,000 rupees on that particular trade. Now, patience and discipline. Now, these are the most important skills which you need in order to achieve your trading goals. Well, not just in trading, even in life, they're equally important. So, even if you have God given strategy, you will not make money if you don't have these two skills. Strategy, I believe, only play 10% role, and rest 90% depends on these skills, as it takes control of psychology involves in trading strategy, risk reward ratio, and money management. Make sure to exit at stop loss if it hits. Don't hope for it to reverse in your direction. Make sure to exit when your target hits. Don't be greedier. Okay. Now, in money management, I'll tell you that don't take more than 1 to 2% of your trading capital, risk in a single trade. Also, you must take only one trade a day, that too if it follows all the terms and conditions of the strategy. Even if you lose, don't try to get back in order to take revenge from the market. Okay. Only those who have the patience to control their emotions during such times are the ones who make big in the business. Lesser you trade, better you make. Now I'll just show you some of the back testing. Here you can see your entry point triggered when previous day low was broken. Your stop loss was above the S1, as you can see, just above S1. Your target was successfully achieved, and I think it was more than 1 is to 5 risk reward ratio which you achieved this day. There was not much of a volatility involved. There was not much of a movement involved in your previous day. So you can definitely see the next day, that is the trading day, you successfully your trade got executed. No, you will get stop loss hit, but then again, That's the reason I said it's 70 to 80% success ratio. Out of 10, 7 to 8 times your target will get hit. And if you're playing with good risk to reward ratio, you can make good fortune with it. In the next trade, you can see there is not here I just wanted to explain you the previous day high, and R1 is this time is below. Okay, and if you see the movement here, it's quite a big movement. So normally I won't suggest you to take such trades, but yes, in order to understand the terms here, where here you can see I have kept stop loss below R1, and your entry point is after the breaking of previous day high. So your entry point must be here on this candle. Okay, and your target was successfully achieved. You have to achieve it before, but I won't suggest you to take this trade, though it got executed successfully, because there was a huge movement on the previous day. Okay, now here you can see it was a perfect narrow range previous day, and you got your entry at S1 and you kept your stop loss at PDL just above the PDL. You got your entry on this candle, this red candle, where it closed after breaking S1, and then it took retracement but got a good resistance at PDL, and then it didn't even touch your stop loss, and your target was successfully achieved. Similarly, kindly go through all the charts in the past for Bajaj Finance, Tata Motors, and ICICI Bank and do the back testing of this strategy. Also, note stock volatility value and all other terms and conditions mentioned are supporting the pattern while you are doing back testing. Follow all the details mentioned in each topic and swear to God that you are going to follow it as it is. And I guarantee you that you will achieve all your financial goals. Wish you all the best for new trading journey. And if you have any doubts related to this, please email me at trade2treasure@gmail.com. Ping me at my Instagram ID trade to treasure, or also you can leave your doubts in the comment section. Thank you so much once again for giving your precious time, and I'll be coming back maybe with next video related to the execution of the trading strategy which I have just explained. Thank you so much once again.